This year, the Dignity for All Students Act went into effect in New York State. It made schools accountable for what students did on the internet. I wanted to know how this would affect schools. So I took a trip to Ithaca High School and Dewitt Middle School to see if anything had changed.
Yeah, I'm the DASA coordinator at Ithaca High School. In each of our buildings, there is a DASA coordinator who has been appointed. But I work with a team of 3 other individuals, Lynn Reitenbach, a school social worker, Elizabeth Cohen, a social worker, and Danielle Murphy is a school counselor. And we meet monthly. We review the cases that we have. Once the cases come in, we work very closely with the APs and they help run the investigation. So it's really a large scale operation. Just because I'm the coordinator here at school, it's not work that I'm doing solely. Yes.
How is DASA different? It's including more students and more types of bullying?
Well, I think it's created a comprehensive framework and a structure and a system with guidelines, whereas before schools have always addressed bullying and harassment. But this gives very clear definitions and explicit expectations.
Once you put it into law, I think it make it uniform, and so that we all have something that we can be held accountable for, but also give the public something to support their efforts. Right now, our DASA Act allows parents, if they hear of anything going on around bullying in schools, they can fill out applications which the school district has to answer in a certain period of time. Before, parents didn't have that to support them. Schools are now being held accountable to any reported acts. They have to act in a certain period of time.
The Dignity for All Students Act deals with bullying, be it actual bullying or perceived bullying. And so one of the things that we look at is whether or not the comments that are posted by students on the internet materially and substantially disrupt the school day, or are bullying, or perceived bullying comments, right? So if someone posts something on the internet and that makes one of our students feel uncomfortable, and as a result they don't come to school, or they avoid school, or they avoid going down a certain hallway, or they avoid a certain club or after-school activity, that disrupts our school day.
I think just like the more people use social networks, the more it's become a problem, but I don't see it firsthand very much.
I've seen it like subtweeting on Twitter, like kind of calling someone out without actually using their names.
People are just more likely to say things on the internet that they wouldn't say in person.
They feel more invincible. They feel protected by technology.
So one thing that happens is kids who are bullied on the internet, like half the time don't know who's doing it to them because it's like anonymous profiles and stuff. Like obviously that's not true. Facebook.
Oh, yeah, that's happened here. There's been like
IHS
IHS problems, like Twitter accounts that kind of like bash people without you knowing who is actually the account holder.
There's also IHS lookalikes, which is sometimes nice, sometimes mean, funny. Mean.
But then there's also IHS compliments, which
IHS
is
nice, yeah.
I don't know what any of these things are.
They're all Twitter
accounts.
Anonymous Twitter accounts started by some people in the school.
People will go and show Mr. Powers tweets.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know who, but like that's how IHS problems got busted last year. Because people would show Mr. Powers tweets, yeah.
Yeah, well then teachers got involved and that just got bad. But like, I think, well there's the rumor that Mr. Powers has a Twitter account. I don't know if it's true or not.
We have no active way of monitoring the internet. There are certain things that we do in the school to kind of curtail social media to some degree. So Facebook, for example, is not accessible through the school computers. But there is no high school Twitter account that we use to log in and monitor what students do or put online. We become aware of events that take place online, usually as a result of an incident or someone upset that they're being harassed or bullied. So they'll bring us a Twitter posting, they'll bring us the Facebook posting, they'll bring us the YouTube clip or whatever, and then we will respond to it that way. In our investigation, we'll usually say, well, can you connect us to this or can you show us that? But we have no active surveillance, quote unquote, of the internet that takes place in the building.
I teach a class called Digital Literacy to 6th graders, and one of the things that we impress upon them, we talk about texting and sexting and cyberbullying, and one of the things that kids are surprised at is that sharing inappropriate images of themselves, it could be considered a form of child pornography. I just recall several incidences when I was an administrator, this was several years ago, where kids would spill out of the buses in the morning ready to go at it with other students because of communications that had occurred over the period of time from the end of school the day before till that morning, with threats and arrangements to meet at a certain place and to have it out.
It is of extreme importance for the school and the home to be on the same page. The way that we deal with these bullying issues, we want to raise awareness and educate students around the harmful impacts. And one way to do that is to include the parents in those conversations once it's brought to our attention.
So, Leanne Young, I am a counselor here at Dewitt Middle School, and I have started a club. I've called it Gentle Giants Club or Gentle Giant Squad, and this club works to be proactive in helping to prevent bullying at Dewitt Middle School. So some of the things we've done, just some simple things of just putting posters together, and we place those posters in hot spots, in locker rooms, in the bathrooms, so just as a way to confront students or keep them always thinking about their actions.
I think things have changed. I think things have gotten better. The kids today, I honestly think of even 5 years ago as sort of the Wild West era of social networking. And now there is a growing expectation that the internet is a public domain. It's a place where more and more the expectation is to be civil, to not say something that in text or via messaging that you wouldn't say face to face. And I think a lot of that has to do with the effort to educate kids about the fact that whatever you say really is public. There really is nothing private on the internet.
I think that because of the severity of cyberbullying and because it's such a recent development, the school has responded with taking everything that they believe to be bullying at face value. And I think that an important part of regulating punishment and making sure that consequences are appropriate is actually understanding what the whole situation is, and that involves not only looking online but speaking to the students involved, because a lot of times things are sarcastic and joking, and obviously you can't see that through a tweet or a text.
So I think we have to do a better job in teaching our students about the power of the internet, both for good, right, and in terms of social media. So the internet is a powerful tool in terms of creating educational opportunities, in terms of connecting kids to resources that they would never have before, in terms of exposing them to curricular content that we couldn't traditionally offer inside a traditional school day. There's good aspects of the internet. There are positive aspects of the internet. Some Twitter feeds and Facebooking and social media allows people to connect and build genuine relationships with one another and really kind of gain information and understandings of people from across the world. At the same time, if we fail to teach our students how to use social media responsibly, if we fail to teach our students how they can protect themselves online in terms of giving out too much personal information or putting information out there that might later come up in a college application process or in a job interview process, we need to get better at that. So the question is, where in the curriculum can we find those opportunities? Can we find those moments to connect our kids with all aspects of proper and safe use of the internet? And how can we continuously adapt as a school and as a community to the continuously changing nature of what social media is?